Alright guys, what's up? This is Sniperphobic here. I think I figured some stuff out for the flight model here for the Blackfish. I do have Forgiven online on Discord with me right now, so if you do hear him talking in the background, accept it. We'll be having some playful banter most likely. But anyways, this is the island that we are going to likely have our base ops. Oh man, getting into the map makes that sound really loud. So give me just a second. I'm going to show you this island and then I'll talk. So that island right there, it's where I'm currently landed. I'm going to go ahead and set a waypoint up here. So that waypoint that I just set is one of the heavy mission areas on this map. So I'm going to fly over there, do some, I guess for this it would be low and slow, but it's compared to like a helicopter or anything, it's going to be pretty high and pretty fast. But just to simulate like a drop, like, you know, dropping people in with parachutes, things of that nature. And then I'm going to land there for the pickup, and then I'm going to come land back at this island, and it's going to be a lot of VTOL stuff. Right now I'm not doing your traditional runway landing, because honestly I don't think we'd be using it for that in Exile. So anyways, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get this started. So we're going to go ahead and say that, you know, okay, yeah, we've got everybody loaded up, open the ramp, everybody loads in, close the ramp, whatever. So we're going to go ahead and take off. As you can see, I've already been flying for a little bit. My fuel is at about a little over 3/4 of a tank. I'm going to go ahead and pull my gear up. And I'm just going to rotate to face the direction of flight that we need. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and start pushing forward. It is going to stall me here, but that's okay. And we're going to lower throttle. Don't want to push forward all the way either. Honestly, 75 degrees tilt will probably be good enough. And then we'll bump up the throttle a little bit more.
Are you talking to me?
Oh, no, I'm not. I'm just holding the push to talk because it's such habit. Sorry. See, like that. I just do stupid things sometimes. You guys get to witness that in this video. Congrats. So anyways, we're flying over this area. I'm going to go ahead and open the ramp. And right here, I'm going to go in the third person to show you. So we'd be flying over, and if anybody who wanted a perch could drop off here, and everybody else could start dropping into the field if they wanted, or they could wait to drop on the other side of the field. Like, it just depends on what they want to do. So, but there's the drop. Close the ramp up. So now I'm going to go ahead and come in for a landing in that mission area. And get ready to pick up my invisible troops there. So we're flying over Comms Bravo right now.
Hi.
Sounds like Kai's on as well.
This has been the most ridiculous game
You guys are going to be in my video.
I've ever played in my life.
What happened?
I'll let you guys listen to that as I come in and land on this AO.
Forgive it, I did not change anything. All I did was restart the server.
I'm not blaming you.
What happened? What happened, man?
I don't even want to tell you.
They took your base apart?
They took my whole... I'm going to take a picture of it right now.
Wait, they actually blew up your base?
They blew the whole thing up.
No, they did not.
Come look at my base.
Is it true, Sniper?
Yes,
Sniper
it
hasn't
is.
been in the game, but come look at my base.
I haven't been in the game yet, but he's been doing nothing but telling me about it.
Just come straight... Well, first, on your way to my base, let's try to kill this last guy that's been here for an hour and a half, because I just got shot by him again. There was 2 out creeping in the woods.
Okay, I'm going to quiet them up so I can do this now. So, for those of you who don't know, Forgiven's base actually didn't get blown up and everything by the AI. We're just trolling Kai, because that's what we do. Anyways, I'm coming in for this landing now. I'm coming in a little high, to be honest. I'm not too pleased with that. I need to bleed some speed here. But, I mean, we'll do what we can with what we've got. Okay, we're losing altitude pretty quick here, so we need to bump up our throttle here. I'm going to go ahead and rotate back in. So keep in mind, I've only been flying this today. This is not an aircraft I am at all familiar with. So this is just what I've been able to figure out in one day of flying it, and actually not even one day, probably less than an hour of flying, to be honest. So bump up the throttle a little bit. We're losing altitude. We're just going to land right here on this padded surface. I don't feel like moving over. The guys could come to me. That's fine. So gear down. And we're basically null on our momentum. I'm going to go ahead and start lowering. Alright, this should be a nice soft touchdown. Started talking to Discord there. A little bit of a bounce there, but you know what? We'll take it. So this would be us picking them up. This thing's going to have a lot of room in it, and I mean a lot of room, to be able to pack stuff in and pick everybody up. So now we're going to need to get ready to head back home. We're going to close up the ramp, and we're going to take off. And it's a very small landing area that we've got to work with here. We're not going to go straight in on it. We're not doing a drop or anything, so we can take our time. I'm going to swing around the island and try to keep my altitude and my speed a little bit more under control if possible. So we're going to tilt forward a little bit here, start gaining a little bit more speed. Going to lower our engine speed there. Actually, that's probably not engine speed. It's I shouldn't say that. Our inclination of the blades, I guess I should say, because this is probably working the way C-130 does. And I'm saying a C-130. It's probably working the way a real Osprey does. I could just say that, couldn't I? The blades are always going to rotate at the same speed, but the way that the blades incline is going to determine how much air they're quote-unquote pushing to determine your speed. So I say quote-unquote because it's a little bit more complicated than the blades just pushing air, to be honest. But okay, I'd say this is pretty decent altitude. Our speed is a little bit out of control though. We're going to go ahead and pull back here all the way on our, I can't even think of what it's called, our vectoring. So we can drop our speed a little bit. When we really need to get our speed under control is about 2 kilometers out, but I also don't want to go crazy and gain a lot of altitude there at the last second either. So we're coming in on the island where the ATC base would be located, into our large aircraft landing spot, which would be used for this Blackfish. So we're about 2.5 out. I'm going to start slowing just a tiny bit, not too crazy. I'm not exactly close enough yet. So we need to start controlling altitude because we are getting down to a speed where we're going to start losing altitude because our forward momentum is not generating enough lift to keep us entirely in the air. but that's okay. This is a VTOL aircraft, so our blades can do the work there, basically generating lift the same way a helicopter would. And we're coming in, so we are under 1 kilometer out, and I think our speed is pretty decent. We're just going to nose up. We're still losing altitude with our nose up, so that's a pretty decent sign that our speed is under control. We're going to level out here a little bit. 50 kilometers an hour is definitely a manageable speed to come in. So this will get a lot smoother as I fly a little bit longer. I'm definitely going to spend a lot more time in the editor before I'm fully ready to take this thing into practice in a server. But as you can see, we've slowed to about 30 kilometers an hour. We're coming in on the LZ here. We've got a relatively small landing spot here, honestly, for an aircraft this large, but we're going to make it work. I forgot to pull my gear up when I left the AO there. We're losing altitude a little bit too quickly there. We're going to pick back up. Bleed off some more speed here. Drop our collective more. I'm not calling it collective, but whatever. There we go. Now we're going to have a nice, soft little landing here. Boom. Just like that. And if I hit enter here, you can see got some pretty good clearance on all sides. Guys are back home safe. We've got a bunch of stuff to bring back, all that kind of business. Sometimes there's multiple missions in that area, so we could really load this thing down. But yeah, there's a little display of what I've been learning on the Blackfish today. Hopefully you guys can actually hear me speaking over the sound of the aircraft here, otherwise I'm going to have to refilm this video, so we'll find out. But I hope you guys enjoy, and see you next time.